Hello everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the Dishonored DLC series, the Brigmore Witches. We're going to be playing Daud. If you were with us on the last series, the last DLC, the Knife of Dunwall, we just got past the traitor. And now we're moving to the people who instigated that traitor. So we're going to go after the Brigmore Witches. So without further yapping from me, let's get into the game. New game. All saved games of the Knife of Dunwall has... A saved game of the Knife of Dunwall has been found. You can use your progression in the Brigmore. You will retrieve your equipment and powers. Which progression? New game. High chaos. New game. New game. If you choose not to use your progression of the Knife of Dunwall in the Brigmore, actually, you know what? I'll use the high chaos. Just use high chaos progression of the Knife of Dunwall. Yes. What I'll do is I will reduce my craziness. You know, I'm still going to go that novice route because I'm getting you saw me. You can see I'm getting brutalized. I'm getting moited. And there are much better game players out there. That you can watch, but you know, hey, to each his own. If you like this kind of content, you like my gameplay, subscribe. If you don't, that's fine too. There's others out there. So let's get going.
He knew. The black-eyed bastard knew that when my blade stilled the Empress's heart and delivered her daughter to the Lord Regent's men, everything would fall to pieces. He watched me do it anyway. And now the world's gone mad. Plague grinds the city down. Corruption rots. A mad killer roams the streets by night, seeking revenge. The overseers have stormed my hideout in the flooded district. And I'm in a strange duel with a mad witch named Delilah for the fate of the Empire. I'd say I was being punished, but I know that the world doesn't punish wicked people. We make our choices and take what comes. And the rest is void. I can't say I wasn't warned. It's been months since I killed the Empress, but it feels like only seconds ago I heard her yelling for her daughter, Emily. Corvo's face going slack with shock. And somewhere in my head, the outsiders laugh. Come to collect on our debt? Did you ever think you deserved to lose your Empress? That a better man took her life, while you gaped like a fool? Come on, Corvo. Prove me wrong.
Thomas has returned with the information you requested. He's waiting for you below.
Oh, some dream thing he had. Alright, some dough. Ports of Call. Excerpts from a guide to port cities across the Empire of the Isles. Potterstead, Bristol. Small town, but the locals are charming and the ale is unmatched. Be certain to visit during the month of Winds for their pennant festival. Dunwall, Bristol. Notes on the capital city could fill a dozen such volumes. All delights exist in Dunwall if you've got the coin, and all miseries if you're broke. Unless you're well connected through someone in Dunwall Tower, one of the key families, the City Watch or the River Patrol. Make sure your permits are in order. Otherwise, you're likely to have your cargo seized by the port authorities for any reason they care to concoct. Kilkenny Morley. While the harbor master here is particular about the kinds of goods you're carrying, the rest of the town is more lax. Be sure to visit the inn on the Rock for the best mutton stew in all the Isles. Jarl Tivia. The cold here will snatch the breath from your lungs, but it is met in equal strength by the civility of its well-mannered citizens. The cozy taverns are kept warm by their famously crafted iron stoves. Though the northern food takes some adjustments, bejeweled aristocrats laugh and drink side by side with weathered, leather-skinned farmers, clapping one another on the back until the dim hours. It is hard to make a friend here, or to truly understand the world view of the native-born. But once you do, you'll have a friend for life. Circonus. The city is crowded in the warmer months, and for good reason. You'll find yourself shoulder to shoulder with scantily clad locals and foreigners on holiday. Pale skins burned pink by the sun, which somehow seems larger and brighter in Circonus. The food in Culero is a shining example of Circonus cuisine, and there is always music, always dancing. Hand rolled on the steps of tobacco shops. Hand rolled on the steps of the tobacco shops. The cigars are, of course, fresher than the ones you've had shipped to the other parts of the empire. Karnaca Circonus, the jewel of the south at the edge of the world. The city is bustling with industry. After a wave of settlers from Morley and an influx of wealthy trading companies from Dunwall. Everywhere you go in Karnaca, there are new ideas, hybrid forms of music, groundbreaking theories of natural philosophy, and even extravagant delicacies made by mixing ingredients from all the known cultures. The local work tirelessly for their own coin, welcoming the elite from across the Isles. Oops, sorry. Give me a sec here. I'm going to pop on my glasses. I'm trying to read that by squinting. Doesn't work very well. Cobbled bits of stone. Excerpts from the journal covering various occult artifacts. They say my mother was a witch, but the truth, as it is so often the case, depends on perspective and your place in the world. She relied on poisons made from exotic herbs and blowfish that live in the reef water near Pandysia. Her powers originated in hallucinogenics delivered through guile or by force to those who crossed her. There was an unusual intensity in her gaze for certain, but it came from within, not from the outsider. It's what happens to anyone pushed to the absolute edge of sanity and survival, who stay there for years, then return to walk among the sheep in so-called civilized society. My mother was crafty, but if it was anything more than powders, hidden knives, and guile, I never saw it. Like they tell children, some of those truly touched by the black-eyed bastards can move through the space between rooftops like a sparrow. Others command armies of rats or poisonous flies as easy as they wriggle their fingers and toes. The overseers are right to fear us, to warn the common folk to stay near their homes at night and keep their families close. But there are other ways his influences manifest itself. Those who serve me share in some of what I can do, and I suspect in the same for Delilah Copperspoon's coven. Then there are those who can craft runes and charms. The old woman cross town. They call her Granny Rags. She carves and polishes the bones of wells, stringing them together and opening them to the void until they moan like the fever sick on a cold night. I found a few of her talismans, and with each one I touched, a tiny piece of me departed and settled in with her. What does she gain? A longer life? Some other kind of power I don't understand? The making of such things is beyond me. I've known 4 people in my time who carried the mark of the outsider, but I've known dozens more who wanted it, who stood at night in stagnant ponds or begged with the dust blowing through graveyards, people with gutted farm animals or burned the flesh of men, thinking it would call forth the void. I met a dying man once who had collected runes and charms for years. He crushed them out all into powder, made a paste and ate them, thinking he could gain whatever magic was in those things. His death was long and painful. I also knew a woman from Karnaka who would trade for charms and other bits of whalebone. She cracked them apart and fused them together, then sold them. I bought one of these corrupted charms that she swore would cause sharp metal to break on my skin, and it worked. But each time it did, one of my teeth turned black and fell out. After the 3rd time, I gave it to one of my men. Now when he smiles, it's all bleeding gums, and I wonder what part inside are turning black. Sometimes I ask myself, without these gifts, would I be a man to fear? Would I be called the Knife of Dunwall? With my name whispered through the markets and the alleyways, the high towers, would my name be called the Knife of Dunwall? With my name whispered through the markets and the alleyways and the high towers and the drawing rooms? I'd like to think so, but it really doesn't matter. As long as I bear this mark, I'll use whatever craft I have to force my will on the world. The harder trick is undoing what I've done. Well, you're going to have to do some undoing to undo what you've done. The Reclamation of Dunwall. A lot of reading today. Excerpts from the pamphlet polished in response to the plague. Dunwall, the seat of power in the known civilized world, the empire of the Isles. It is our great capital, and it has been brought low by vermin, the very thought galls. We are faced with the reality that our once great city is in a state of shambles, and the few remaining domiciles in any habitable conditions are the estate of those wealthy enough to ward themselves against the reality. A city cannot continue to thrive populated by only the upper classes and their cloistered sycophants. Even if the plague were gone tomorrow, in its present state, Dunwall doesn't have enough hardy people of working age to return the city to everyday function. We must find a way to attract more residents, which requires removing the cloud of fear brought about by the current regime. The Lord Regent and his lackeys are bad for business, my friends. So it falls on us, A plague and a tyrant must be overcome, and after that we must undertake a third miracle, turning the screws on the obscenely wealthy, forcing them to pay back into the place that has given them their privileged lives. It is a powerful and fortunate who must pay for the rebuilding of Dunwall, even if the poorest will bear the stones and the timbers of reconstruction on their backs. All this must happen for the dormant machines of commerce to restart. Without that, we are all forfeit, and the greatest city of our age will be lost. Okay. I hear something. It may be below me, so let's... Collect blueprints to unlock new upgrades and equipment at the start of the next mission. The Metaphysica Mysterium. Excerpts from a longer banned work on supernatural rituals. It is said that we should not sully our hands when combating the forces of the void. My studies have been deemed heretical to my brothers, but the rewards have been invaluable. I have harnessed the same energies employed by the outsider and his accursed followers while avoiding their corruption. I will prescribe a twofold method in this text. Indirection, as the unwholesome powers of the outsider use living flesh as a conduit, we can avoid being tainted by using the flesh of others instead. Containment. By using channels and barriers, we can focus their void energy in a raw state, shielding them from the perverse perspectives of the outsider. There it is. His dart machine and a rune. Interesting they put a cutscene like that here. Oh, there it is, and that's the reason why. So I have this. This requires 1 rune. I have 6. Summon an assassin. Or bend time. Slows time for... I didn't even upgrade any of this from the last... When I was playing the Knife of Dunwall. I didn't do any of this. Wow, what a bonehead I was. Vitality. Health is increased. Build up adrenaline. Then trigger brutal melee fatality. Okay, I don't want to do that. I do want more health though. You have the extended health bar. At level 2, you regenerate more health faster. Agility. Jump height is increased and falling damage is reduced. I'll take that. That's a 1 runer. 1 runer. You can jump higher by holding spacebar. At level 2, you can sprint and much faster. Shadow kill. Unaware enemies who don't see you turn to ash as they die. All enemies turn to dash as they die. I'm just not big on killing. I did a lot of that, and I'm trying to avoid it. So I should try not to do that. Arcane bond. Share your powers with your assassin. So I got 4 runes left, so I can do either of those. Summon assassin. I can summon a novice assassin to fight by your side. Summon a master assassin if I do 2. Bend time. Slow time for a short duration. Completely stops time for a short duration. You know what? I should do this one. Pull. Pull inanimate objects towards you from a distance. Consumable items are used or stored immediately. Hey, I like that. That's going to cost me 2 runes. So, at level 2, pulling things in bodies for a slightly higher mana cost than the inanimate objects. When enemies are close enough, they are lifted helplessly and can be executed or choked. Corpse and unconscious bodies are automatically carried. I should do a bend time. Or I should just save it. Yeah, let's save it. And then if we have to, we'll take a look at the bend time feature. Okay, so let's take a... Oh, I just realized we had all of this stuff here. Bird of Prey. Drop assassination gives you a bit of stealth. Scavenger. You find ammo in greater amounts. Yes, I can always use ammo. You swing your sword moderately faster. Potions give you moderately more health. Spirit. Potions give you moderately more mana. That I want. Light is a shadow. Take less damage from falls. Yeah, I like that too. Spirit water. Drinking from faucet restores a small amount of mana. Nope. Blood of an ox. Your max mana has been slightly increased. Yes, I like that. Potions give you moderately more health. Let's do blood ox. There you go. So I guess I can upgrade 2 more. Prepare for your trip. Speak with Thomas for the briefing. So I need to speak with Thomas. Gadgets. The Whalers. It's not like Bob Marley and the Whalers. Ha ha, lol. Okay. Excerpts from a journalist's report on organized criminal activity. One gentleman of advanced age swore that his brother had been taken by the Whalers, a notorious gang associated with a man called Daud. Oh, so I guess you're the leader of the Whalers. I guess Daud Marley. Sorry. Nobody's laughing at that. According to Pieter Mansfield, his brother Rodolphe was proud of working with the Royal Spymaster's Responsible Citizens Group, feeling no shame in reporting on what he perceived as shady dealings by his rivals at the fish market. But this might have been the source of his trouble. On the 6th evening of the month of Hearths, Rodolphe came storming into Pieter's home, white-faced and panic-stricken, claiming to have been chased by a group of ruffians wearing the leather suits and vapor masks used by the men working in the whale oil factories. Pieter gave him supper and drink, sending him on his way later in the night, after which Rodolphe was never seen again. The Whalers. Bob Marley and the Whalers. The Isle of Circonus. Excerpts from a volume of Circonus Geography and Culture. Circonus, the jewel of the south, is best known for its warm winds, spice foods, and endless beaches. While the city of Colero sees the heaviest flow of travelers from across the isles, Karnaca, on the southernmost edge of the known world, is preferred among the elite of the empire. It is said that a month spent resting beneath the sun on the beaches of Circonus or within one of the rural villages can cure most maladies. Travelers bring back recipes and styles from the south, and the dances that all Circonus learned in their youth are favored in Bristol for their sensuality, copied by the fashionable aristocracies in the capital city of Dunwall. The only persistent trouble in Circonus originates along the string of tiny islands stretching away from the mainland to the east. For generations, pirates have hidden among this archipelago, raiding traders passing between the isles and more recently attacking whaling ships, returning with rich stores of oil.
Thomas finished his scouting run. When you've talked to him, I'll give you the latest word from inside the prison.
Alright, so I need to talk to Thomas. This is Thomas.
I found Lizzie Stride. Getting her to lend us her boat will be a bit complicated, however. She's in Coldridge. From what I hear, they've got enough on her to hold her for about 1,000 years.
Excellent. Lizzie has enemies inside Coldridge. If we play this right, she'll be begging to do business with us.
Ready to leave, sir? Or should I wait? At your pleasure.
Give me a few minutes, guys. I need to make sure I read everything. Thomas's journal. A recent journal entry written in a careful hand. Our troubles began with a name, Delilah. A mystery given to Daud by the face he sees in his dreams and those voices he hears when kneeling at the shrines hidden in the lost parts of the city. None of us have ever heard this voice, but we know its power. It spoke to our master, telling him of his coming doom, and saying that solving this riddle was the only way to escape. We knew nothing of Delilah, except that we found a whaling ship by the name. A tenuous connection, but where the outsider's word is concerned, there are no coincidences. We discovered the ship was named after a woman who once walked the halls of Dunwall Tower with Jasmine Caldwell. Later she became a painter, an apprentice of Sokolov himself, until she snared an aristocratic patron named Arnold Timish. We met with Timish's niece, who offered us information on Delilah in exchange for eliminating her uncle. Removing aristocrats was our specialty, so our master agreed. With barrister Arnold Timish gone, his niece divulged everything she knew. Delilah was much more than a painter, and she was hiding in the old Brigmore manor outside the city. But by then, we were too late. Delilah anticipated our threat. For some time she had been working her corruptive influence on the best of us, the assassin Billy Lurk. Delilah turned Lurk against us, and together they sold us out to the overseers. When we returned to our hideout in Flooded District, we were swarmed by gold mask and hounds. But Daud is quick and wise in our trade. In the end, he kept us alive, though there were losses. Now our resources are strained. Some of the men are grumbling. I see the strain on Daud's face. Killing the Empress, handing over her daughter, those are not easy burdens to bear, and Lurk's betrayal weighs on him heavily. His sleep is troubled by curses and shouts. Now we make preparation to strike back at Delilah. She is planning something in Brigmore, something that affects everyone in the Isles, and she will be expecting us. Like our master, she shares her gifts from the outsider with those who follow her. How many are they, I wonder? I have no secrets from my master. My loyalty is without question, but I fear these may be the last days of the whalers, perhaps the last days of Daud. Let's do a quick run around, make sure we picked everything up. I gotta find out how to assign that. Okay, I think I've done it all. Is there a way to get out here? Nope. The Royal Spy Master. Let's finish all these readings. Excerpts from the historical record of the government positions and ranks. It is said that the office of the Royal Spy Master has existed for as long as there has been emperors and empresses. However, the earliest days of the Empire has this position existed in secrecy. Only after the Morley insurrection was the position publicly acknowledged, due to the tremendous role that the acting spy master played in quelling the rebellion. You know, I think I've read this, so I'm not going to read it again.
Why did Daud leave Abigail? He's alive back at the slaughterhouse. I would have killed her. She's a loose end.
A calculated risk. Ames has as much interest in Daud keeping silent as he does in her. And now we have a valuable contact.
Corrupted bone charms are powerful bone charms that come with a cost. Locate them like normal bone charms by listening for the song they emit, or with the void gaze power. Equip them in the bone charm tab of the journal. I can't collect those, huh? Okay. Let me take a look at the bone charm. I just picked up a shivering silhouette. Enemies have a high chance to miss ranged attacks. Penalty, you are more visible to enemies. Yay! No thank you. Oops. Oh. Oops. See? Oh, my void gauge is 7.
Taking prisoners is exactly the sort of thing I'm talking about.
You don't have to
Daud. Ever vigilant, I see. Are we leaving soon to Brigmore?
Scared, are you? Witches upriver. Traitors in the ranks. And then there's Daud, who just killed his own apprentice. A better assassin than you'll ever be. I'd be frightened too.
The Knife of Dunwall, a survivor's tale. From the street pamphlet containing a sensationalized sighting of the assassin Daud. Gentle reader, be assured that your coin is well spent today. What you read here may one day preserve your life and your sanity. No one has seen the Knife of Dunwall and lived to tell of it until now. The sun was setting, a bloody stain against the sky, silhouetting the noble contours of the Rothwild slaughterhouse. The stench of blood, the flesh of men and whales, soured the air. Daud slithered from the sewers, his body slick with gore and crawling with vermin that no mortal man could have tolerated. His shadow stretched out before him on the ground, and it revealed his true nature, a horned thing warped by heresy, a shape too terrible to put into word. My gentle readers, a sorcerer from the void without a question. I could hear the moans of the dying workers he left in his wake, but he did not even pause to acknowledge their plight, for his heart is colder than Tivian ice. Instead, he let out a guttural howl of victory, a shock of which snuffed out the life of those poor dying workers. And then he bounded away, moving from roof to roof, back towards the street. And this was where I thought his chapter would end until I heard the music. The grinding metal music of the overseers echoed from the nearby alleyways, and I knew there would soon be a fight. With only my sense of duty to the fallen citizens of Dunwall, I kept my fear from overtaking me. I inched closer to the mouth of the alley for a better vantage. A brave contingent of overseers had captured one of Daud's lieutenants, lurking in the alley. He or she, for I could not tell beneath the thick leather of industrial whaler suit, was prone and tied with sturdy ropes, surrounded overseers. But their fixation was ultimately their undoing. Daud fell from above, moving through the air as easily as a falcon. I swear it upon my spirit. Without a sound, he glided down among them, and the music maker was the first to die as Daud tore the man's head from his shoulders. The wretched song faded in a discordant wail when I watched as the most notorious assassin of our time became a flurry of leather, metal, and blood, deflecting bullets and sword blades with ease. The last overseer, no doubt consumed with terror at seeing his brothers fall, as easily sank to his knees and begged for mercy. Daud spoke a single word that made my entrails squirm in my belly upon hearing it. The overseer shrieked like a madman until his mask split in two, as though struck by some hammer and chisel, and a stream of blood gushed forth from the crack, bathing Daud's boots. I closed my eyes at that point, too overwhelmed to witness any further atrocity. I could only hope that if that foul heretic discovered me next, my life would end swiftly. But when I opened my eyes, Daud was nowhere to be seen. That was the last I ever saw of the Knife of Dunwall. So heed my warning, gentle reader. Should you or anyone you love witness some misshapen shadow fall across your path, or should you hear the slightest rumor of dark words whispered from the rooftops, then flee. Flee with all haste. Something up there. There it is. And I believe that's it, folks. So let's go talk to Thomas. And let's get going. It's a lot of reading in this episode.
Is it time to go, sir?
Yes, it is. Time to head to Coldridge Prison. Oh, I missed some coins. I can't believe it. So this is going to play out like the other DLC. So I'll get to purchase stuff and upgrades and supplies before the mission, I believe.
Delilah doesn't leave Brigmore Manor anymore. She doesn't have to. Which means I have to come to her. The manor's upriver, far out past the quarantine line. I'll need a ship. I've lived in Dunwall's underworld a long time. I know the players, gang leaders, madams, corrupt officials. But what I need is a smuggler who knows the river, someone I can trust. It's a reflection of Dunwall, or perhaps myself, that after all these years, the best choice I have is Lizzie Stride, and Lizzie Stride is in jail.
Psychopathic maniac. Ugh, crazy things you have to do. Favors. As Daud, you can use your network of spies and corrupt merchants to purchase equipment and upgrades before each mission. You can also pay for special favors. These favors can have a variety of effects in the mission, such as granting access to equipment, caches, or revealing secret information. Arc mine capacity. Stun mine capacity. New upgrades available, so I guess I have all of these. Arc mine extra charge. Okay, let's take a look and see what I have 427 coins. I have 2 of these. 2 of the bolts. It's the cheapest one I can get. The arc mines. I have 0 of 3. These I guess I'll pick up. The arc mine, the stun mine. You know what? I'm gonna go for the arc mine. I'll pick these up along the way, or I will just use whatever I have. I have no choice. So whatever I find, I'll make use. But I will need to pick up some stuff. Actually, I should look at the upgrades. I don't even qualify for any of them. I could increase the bone charm for 250. And then favors. Let's take a look at favors. You are disguised as an overseer. An overseer has been summoned to Coldridge Prison. Your contacts will intercept him and send you in his place. Use this overseer uniform as a disguise should fool the prison guards long enough to get you inside. A misplaced rune, a secret sweep of the prison for contraband. Wow. Forged requisition. Forged requisition orders allows your contact to deliver stun mines to the prison. The key to the munitions lockers will be hidden nearby. Okay. I want the rune. I guess if I'm going to reduce fighting contact, I have to get the costume and just walk through. Or requisition to get some stun mines. No, I think I'll go with this. Purchase. And of course, the misplaced rune. Alright, I'm done. Let's start the mission.
This should get me in the front door at least. Looks like I'll need to check in with those guards by the gate.
What a dirty knife, man. Alright, let's... talk to the guard at the main gate. Disoriented by overseer music. Magic will not work. Alright, let's do a quick save. And let's take a walk.
Overseer.
Don't look at me. I don't know anything about what happened.
About time, Overseer. We sent for you hours ago.
There was a problem with the waterlock.
Fine. Listen up. The incident took place in the interrogation room. Cross the yard and keep going straight. Anything else is off limits. Understand? Don't go exploring. Don't speak to the prisoners. We're not here to listen to you preach. Don't forget you're in Coldridge now, not the Abbey. We asked you here for one reason.
I'll be gone before you know it.
Wow, this looks... oh yeah, this is the exact same spot in Coldridge Prison where Corvo escaped. Let's take a look at the notes. The cell controls above the courtyard. Prisoner cell blocks and execution yard are off limits. You don an overseer disguise in order to infiltrate Coldridge Prison. The prison guard summoned an overseer to investigate an occult scene in the interrogation room, and will probably expect you to play the part. Lizzie Stride, the leader of the Dead Eels, is somewhere inside Coldridge Prison. The former Lord Protector's escape has put this place on high alert. Okay, so, let's take the task. Break Lizzie out, learn Lizzie Stride's location. Favor, visiting the overseer. Go to the interrogation room. Misplaced rune. Alright, where? I guess I have to go to the interrogation room first.
Guard, open the gate.
Overseer arrival. Remember that an overseer has been summoned to address the situation in the interrogation room. Until the overseer arrives, no one is to enter the interrogation room. The prisoner cells are off limits to overseers and other visitors. No exceptions. Alright. So we can't go into this room because it's blocked off.
All cells in Section B are under quarantine until further notice. Prisoners who have been transferred from
This
Section
mask
B
won't fool
will
our
be observed for signs of infection.
Didn't they do it?
Hemrick drinks and he chose a bad day to sleep in. Morris lost his nerve at the sewer gates. Neither of them knew
Wow.
anything. They died. to
There's a
satisfy
lot of guards.
his office.
And Officer Thorpe.
Thorpe slipped him the key. Everyone knows that. They got weak. They paid him off, but he couldn't tell us who it was. And believe me,
I don't even have a rewire tool, so I can't do anything there.
Seen Corvo train, haven't you?
Right through there. Can't miss it.
Yeah.
None of the guards that went into question came out.
I'll be careful.
Nobody's making rounds over here? Hey, don't you owe me a drink?
The misplaced rune is
I'm not saying it,
below us,
but I can do
it appears.
it once the cell
no
doors
one
open.
making rounds over
You?
here. How?
In the first rush, I take 2, 3, before they get their swords out, pick up their pistols. I'm a good shot.
How?
I'm better than most of the people here. It's a fact.
Head directly across the yard and through the door. Better make a pass over to the interrogation room. And don't forget, the rest of the prison is off limits.
No,
Don't get
stupid
caught.
goddamn. Right.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm just gonna try to collect as much
Shut up.
of the stuff that I can get access to. Oh, there was something here. Oh, there it is. I better not go here. I might get in trouble. Might blow my cover.
What happened here?
Whoa. Yeah, what did happen here? Alright. Cash. Rune. Health. Key. Anything else?
Because they paid off the guard.
Is she strapped in right? Good. Doesn't look like much, does she? Comfortable? All right, we'll get this done.
Let's start with how you got into Dunwall Tower in the first place. Was it one of the servants that let you in? One of the guards? Nothing? All right. Corporal, use the hammer. That's right. The smaller one. Can't really tell if she felt that. Don't want to break anything. Let's try again. How did you... Wait. You hear a kind of ringing in your ears? What's happening to her face? Is she going to... Oh no! Oh no! Shoot her! Shoot her! Shoot!
Well, I guess she went crazy.
No, stupid cut.
There's a document here. Let's read the document. Dear Officer Ashfield, I would like to most humbly request access to documents concerning the new experimental choke dust, which you may have recently found yourself in possession of. I understand this is a delicate subject matter, and I assure you every precaution will be taken with the documents to ensure they remain confidential. If access to these documents is agreeable to you, please have one of your men deliver them to my cell. Respectfully, your friend in A25. Interrogation log 425. Excerpt from the interrogation logs at Coldridge Prison, month of Nets. Prisoner 354A9123. Goal: location of collaborators in theft of goods. Method: heated metal bolts applied to feet. Oh lordy. Outcome: promising response at first, but the subject lost consciousness due to shock. Duh! Prisoner 657C7619. Goal: confession to vandalism. Method: sleep deprivation. Outcome: disorientation. Subject falsely confessed to crimes as well as other unrelated acts. Duh! Talk about extremes. Prisoner 874A-1713. Goal: location of a weapon cache tied to attacks in river patrol checkpoints. Method: water tank. Outcome: tank mechanism malfunction. Subject drowned. Wow. Prisoner 4112B 7835. Goal: name of conspiracy organizer. Method: engagement with phobia spiders. Outcome: subject divulged the information before the hatch to the spider basket was even opened. Well, it is a place of torture, I guess. Can I go up there? Whoops, sorry. I need to go now. I need to go find Lizzie and get to the misplaced runes. Okay, let's go back in here. And let's do a quick save so I can... see if there's anything else we missed in here. I mean, clearly there's nothing. This person went psycho.
Oh, no, stupid goddamn. This disguise won't help me if I'm caught in a restricted wing.
Please, not now.
The sound she made, it was like...
Okay.
Why is no one making rounds over here?
All prison personnel will stay clear of the interrogation room until the representative from the Abbey has certified it is free of any heretical corruption.
Remember to take extra care in logging transfers. Even temporary transfers of prisoners from one cell to another must be recorded in the logbook. Ensure that the logbook is available in the guard booth between section C and D at all times. Rewire tool. So they can't really activate that because it has no fuel. That was weird.
You're making a huge mistake. I'm a barrister. I've got all your names. Morgan and Taylor, and Cooper and Watkins and Linden. They'll go into a signed notarized deposition. I've sent word to the Lord Regent's office. None of you understand what I can do to you. It's almost laughable, isn't it? When you think about it, you're signing your own death warrants. Let me out! Let me out of here!
I wonder, is that Arnold Timish?
Nobody's making rounds over here?
Oh, no, stupid goddamn.
Better make a pass over here.
Okay, let's go back to the interrogation room.
Someone else.
No, I was gonna strangle that guy. Oh, it's a good thing I didn't. What you got over here, buddy? Stuff? I wonder what the best way to go about gaining access to the rest of it, of the prison.
Any chance you'll share your food with me tonight? You're such a choffer.
Okay, you idiot. Guards, to me!
Oh.
Whiskey for a week if you kill it.
All right, I'm committed. Procedures following the escape of Corvo Attano. Following the escape of Corvo Attano, the council appointed by the Lord Regent has decided it is of the utmost importance to increase security measures at Coldridge Prison. The recommendations made by this report include structural measures such as increasing the height of walls, ceiling ventilation shafts, and ensuring sewer entrances are inaccessible. Additionally, staffing at the site must be increased to thoroughly cover all exits and maintain observation of all major corridors. Special addendum. In addition to the new measures outlined herein, the Council has consulted both the Abbey and the Everyman and the Royal Physician Anton Sokolov, who is also head of the Academy of Natural Philosophy, asking for guidance and equipment in the handling of those cases which are more exotic in nature. While we have dismissed reports of the supernatural in the past as old wives' tales and lunatic hearsay, recent months have convinced us that there are matters afoot that we do not fully understand. As such, prison executive personnel are encouraged to welcome the presence of both the overseer and anyone working under Sokolov's technical guidance.
This controls all the cell doors.
Cell controls. Cell controls system quick reference. Set first number to match cell section letter. Set second and third number to cell numbers. Pull lever to confirm selection. Ensure that each cell opening requests and selections are verbally confirmed. Investigate and report any suspected malfunctions immediately. Remember to take extra care in logging transfers. Even temporary transfers of prisoners from one cell to another must be recorded in the logbook. Ensure that the logbook is available to the guard both between section C and D at all times. Okay, so I need access to this cell activator. Escape plans. Well, someone had the fortitude. When you hear the alarm in the courtyard tonight, make a break for the front gate. Jump from the bridge and swim to the sewer entrance. You won't get another chance now that the Empress's assassin has escaped. Watch out for the rats. Okay, so I've made it up here. I guess I can make it over there. Yes. And then I can make it over there, I guess. Let's do that.
Why did they let us bring her in? Didn't they know what she was?
Oh, I love the freezing time, but it's unnerving.
I better make a pass over here.
So I gotta figure out all the logbooks over there. How do I get to that?
Stupid goddamn stubborn son of Harlan Gunn.
Can I blink? Yes, I can. The misplaced runes. The logbook. I think the logbook contains the cell where Lizzie's hidden. Hey, there's a rune back there or something. This is D21. Well, since I can,
You're such a choffer.
D21. 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 Actually, whoa.
Better be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a corrupted charm. Witch's skin. When taking damage, your mana is drained before your health. Mana does not regenerate. Ah, not good. I don't want that. The outsider walks among us. Yes, he does. This is a dangerous place. All these people about. I think I'm gonna keep it here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it right here. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Brigmore Witches. I was pronouncing it wrong earlier. Bridgemore. I believe Daud's character actually said Brigmore Witches. This is a DLC for the Dishonored series. The first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like the content, subscribe. Click that bell to be notified. And hopefully you'll come back for the future episodes. Until then, have a good one.